How can we stand out in a highly competitive environment when customers have so many choices? Customer have so many choices. There are so many retailers, and it is very difficult to retain your customers. To acquire customer is not that difficult, but retaining the customer is more difficult than acquiring the customers. So retailer has to make the strategies how they will retain their customers when customers have so many choices. How can we grow our business while retaining a core of loyal customers? How we will retain our customers? The retail function in distribution. What is the functions of retails in distribution? The manufacturer manufactured the product, and the wholesaler purchases it from the manufacturer, or manufacturer delivers it to the wholesaler, and a retailer buys that product from the wholesaler, or wholesaler supplies that particular product to the retailer, and finally the retailer, from the final consumer, purchases the product for its consumption from the retailer, or retailer provides that product or the services to the final consumer for its use. So this is the function of distribution, that is the manufacturer supplies the product to the wholesaler supplies the product to the retailer, and retailer supplies that product or service to the final consumer for its usage, right? There is a typical chain of distribution, like there are manufacturer who manufacture brand A, another manufacturer for the brand B, then brand C and brand D manufacturer, and this brand A and brand B manufacturer supplies a product to a particular wholesaler. Even a wholesaler can purchases a product for more than one manufacturer. Wholesaler X can purchase the product of product from the manufacturer of brand A product, or from the manufacturer of a brand B product, right? And another wholesaler, there is another wholesaler that purchases a brand C and a brand D. Suppose TV, right? There is a wholesaler who purchases a brand A TV from the manufacturer of a brand A, and a brand B type of a TV from manufacturer of brand B type of a TV. And another wholesaler Y, he purchases say refrigerator from W type from brand C, and refrigerator of a brand D. Now the retailer purchases from both of the wholesaler, that a retailer might have TV of a brand A, TV of a brand B, and refrigerator of a brand C, and the refrigerator of a brand C. Then the customer comes to the retailer and purchases TV or refrigerator of a specific brand which the customer wants, right? Brand A customer, brand B, brand C, or brand D, whatever one is required, that the customer purchases it from the retailer. Suppose I want to purchase a brand A type of a TV and a brand C type of a refrigerator for my personal usage. Then I'll go to that retailer who has a brand A type of a TV and a brand C type of a refrigerator, and I'll purchase it. Or I'll visit, if one particular retailer has a brand A type of a TV, not but brand C type of a refrigerator, then I might visit to another who has both, or who has at least one, right? A retail function in distribution, that retailer often act as a contact between the manufacturer, wholesaler, and the customer. It is the retailer from whom the customer purchases for the usage. A retailer collects an assortments or varieties from the various sources, buy in large quantity and sell in small amount. This is sorting process. A retailer purchases from the various distributors a variety of products and buys in a larger quantity, but sell in the smaller quantity, because a retailer might have purchased three pieces of a brand C, and 5 pieces of a brand D, and 4 pieces of a brand B. But being a customer, I'll purchase 1 piece of a brand B and 1 piece of a brand D. So retailer purchases in the larger quantities and sell in a small amount. A retailer communicate with customer, wholesaler, and the manufacturer, right? It is the retailer who act as a chain between the customer, manufacturer, and the wholesaler and the manufacturer. Shoppers learn about the availability and the characteristics of goods and services, store or sales, etc., from the retail advertisements, salespeople, and displays. Manufacturers and wholesalers are informed by their retailer with regard to their sales forecast, delivery delays, customer complaints, defective items, inventory turnover, and so on. That is how the retailer acts as an agent between the customer and between the manufacturer or the wholesaler, right? Because it is the retailer who inform the manufacturer or the wholesaler with regards to sale forecast, which product is in demand, right? Which It is the retailer who inform to the wholesaler or manufacturer about the customer complaints. If there are complaints about a product from the customer, it is the retailer who will convey it to the wholesaler or to the manufacturer. Or if there is any inventory turnover, whether the product is moving or not, or is lying like that in his or her store. So retailer act as an agent between the final consumer and the wholesaler and a manufacturer. Many goods and services have been modified due to the retailer feedback. On the basis of the feedback given by the retailer to the wholesaler or the manufacturer or the service provided, many of the goods and services has been modified. For small supplier, retailers provide assistance by transporting, sorting, marketing, advertising as a pre-paying for the products. A retailer also complete the transaction with customer, that is having a convenient location, filling order promptly and accurately, and processing the credit purchase. So it is the retailer actually who complete the transactions with the customers. When the retailer has a store at a convenient location, people frequently can move to that location, fills up the order promptly. If that product is available, he can deliver that product at the same time. Otherwise, as early as possible, he can deliver that product promptly and accurately, and processing the credit purchases. If someone wants to pay in EMIs or in paying installment, they process the credit purchases also. Some retailers also provide customer services such as gift wrapping, delivery, and installation. To be more appealing, many firms engage in multi-channel retailing, that is multiple point of contact like physical store, website, mail order, catalog, etc. So many firms engaged in many multi-channel retailing. There are multi-channel retailing means they have many channels to retail or to provide that service or product to the consumer. It could be through the website, it could be through their physical store, it could be through mail order or through catalog, etc., right? Benefits, what are the benefits? The retailer reaches more customers, it reduces the cost, improves the cash flow, increase sales more rapidly, and focus on area of expertise. Many manufacturers also do operate in retail facilities. Besides selling at the conventional stores, retail stores, they run their own stores. These firms complete the full range of retailing function and compete with conventional retailers. Example is you can see Geo or a Reliance store, right? They have their products and they distribute their product or sell their product at their own point, like W for women, They are the manufacturer as well as they have their retail outlets, and their apparels can be available to other shops and websites too. Their apparels are available on the Amazon, are available on the Amazon and other sites, and there are many other stores where their apparels are available, and they have their own retail stores as well as they are the manufacturer of their product. Retailer supplier relationship. Retailers are part of a distribution channel, so manufacturer or wholesaler are concerned about the caliber of displays because it plays an important role. So wholesaler are concerned whether they are whether the retailer is able will be able to display the product, because display plays an important role in moving of a product and retail. We'll discuss about this display in our another lectures, right? So caliber of display, they are concerned about the customer services, whether they will be provide whether the retailer will be able to provide the customer services, because without customer services it will dissatisfy the customers and will impact the sales of the wholesaler. Store hours. What are the store hours? It impacts the wholesaler are concerned about that. A retailer's reliability as a business partner. How reliable that retailer is, whether they can whether they can be business partners or not. Retailers are also major customer of goods and services for resale, store fixture, computer management, consulting, and insurance. Retailer and suppliers have different priorities on what control over distribution channel. The distribution, that is wholesaler, have a different priorities over the control of the distribution channel, and retailer have different priorities. Profit allocation, their priorities could be different. Number of competing retailers handling the supplier's product. It may impact a retailer in another way and a wholesaler in another way. If there are more number of the retailers who are supplying their product, or who are from where the customer can purchase their product, it is good for the wholesaler or the manufacturer. But for another retailer, it is not a good thing, because it increases the competition among the retailers. The product display, every manufacturer or wholesaler wants that their product should be displayed in a proper manner, so that that product could move fast. When a consumer sees a product without that, at times they purchase that product even if they don't need that product, or they have never thought of purchasing that product. But for the retailer, there could be the different priorities. Retailer might want to display the product in which he can earn more profit. Promotion support, there could be different priorities on the promotion supports, or the payment terms, or the operating flexibilities, right? Channel relations, there are the relationship between the channels, that is the exclusive distribution. What is the exclusive distribution? Suppliers make arrangement with one or few retailer that designate them the only one to carry certain brands or products in a specific geographic region. Both parties work together to maintain an image, assign a shelf space, allot profits and costs and advertisements. This is the smoothest channel of relationship. So, what is exclusive distribution? Exclusive distribution is where there is a pact between the supplier and the retailer. They agree, there is an agreement that the retailer will carry certain brands of or the product. Only that particular retailer or few retailers will carry the brands or the products of that particular brand in that specific region, and supplier will not supply the product to any other retailer in that particular region, and that retailer will only sell their product. Both parties work together to maintain an image. because when a retailer has a product of a particular company, then it helps in maintaining an image, assigning a self space, profit, cost, and advertisement. Next is intensive distribution. Suppliers sell through as many retailers as possible. This maximizes the suppliers' sales and lets retailer offer many brands and product versions. Retailer may assign little shelf space to specific brands, set high price on them, and not advertise them. This is most volatile channel of relationship. That was the exclusive distribution where a manufacturer supplies to the exclusive retailers, and that exclusive retailer will sell only that exclusive product, the product of that particular company, to the consumer. That is exclusive distribution, right? Then comes the intensive distribution. What is intensive distribution? Intensive distribution is when supplier can supply the product to many retailers, and retailers carries the products of the many suppliers, right? So it is this maximize this what is this this maximizes the suppliers sales, right? Because it can distribute that to many retailers, and the chances of the sales increases because n number of people visits different retailers, right? And retailers may assign, in this case the retailer may assign a little shelf space to a specific brand. Maybe I would not like to assign that a specific brand, most major shelf space to the specific brand. Retailer can set high price on them, it increases the profit, and may not advertise the product, right? This is the most volatile channel relationship. Next relationship is selective distribution. Suppliers sell through a moderate number of retailers carrying some competing brands. This combines the aspects of exclusive and intensive distribution. So selective distribution, another is selective distribution, that is the suppliers sells to a moderate number of retailer, means there are neither a very large number of retailer whom supplier is supplying, or there is nor a very less number, say one or two or very few suppliers, where a supplier is supplying retailer, where supplier is supplying the product. So there are the moderate number of retailers, right? And they are carrying some, and when they are supplying to the moderate number of in selective distribution, the supplier is supplying it to the moderate number of the retailers. And another thing is that uh, the retailer on the other hand is carrying some competing brand, as a retailer who is dealing in electronics may carry the product of the Voltas, may carry the product of the Samsung, may carry the product of the Hitachi, right? And in turn, if this supplier is supplying the product to the moderate number of retailers, right? There are special characteristics of retailing, like the average amount of sales transaction for retailer is much less than the manufacturer, because the retailer sells only few products, one, two, or at times one or two, or that depends on the range of the product or the type of the product. So the amount of the sales transaction for retailer is much less than the manufacturer, because the movement of product from the retailer is low as compared to the movement of the product from the manufacturer, because the manufacturer gives the large amount of the product to the wholesaler or to the retailer, right? This low amount creates a need to tightly control the cost associated with each transactions, like sales personnel, credit verification, and bagging. To maximize the number of customers, the retailer has to emphasize more on advertisements and special promotion. This increases the impulse sales by more aggressive selling, right? Because the movement of the sales is less in case of the retailing, and because of this the retailer has to tightly control the cost associated with each transaction, like they have to pay to the salesperson, and when they if they are giving the credit facilities, then they have to do the credit verification, and then if they have then the baggaging, right? If they have to provide the bag to carry that product, right? So to maximize the number of customer, the retailer has to emphasize more on the special promotions, and this increases the impulse sales. Impulse sales is what, when a customer has not thought of purchasing a particular product, but when retailer told about the product, or when the salesperson told about the product, about the advantages of product, and told about the offers given by their retailer, or what offers they are giving on that particular product, at times the customer purchases that product without thinking or without the need of that product. That purchase is known as impulse purchasing, right? And this increases the impulse sales, and by more aggressive selling, right? Final, consumers make many unplanned or impulse purchases. When you go to the any of the market, you might have thought that I need these products and I'll purchase those products, but when you visit that shop, you might have seen something which appealed you, then you purchase it. I'll use it later on, and this is known as unplanned or impulse purchase. Larger percentage of consumer do not look at the ads before shopping. They do not prepare a shopping list. Or even if they prepare a shopping list, at times they do unplanned or impulse purchases. Oh, I forgot to write this on my list. Even I need this, or maybe after few days I'll need this, so better purchase it because they are offering it at a at because there is an offer available on this product. Let's purchase this product even if I don't need this project. I purchase it because I like that type of purchases is known as unplanned or impulse purchases, right? This indicates the value of in-store displays, attractive store layouts, and well organized store catalog and the website. That is why that display of the product is more important, because it increases the unplanned or impulse purchases. When the product is displayed in a way that everyone can see that product, oh, I forgot to write that in my list, even I need this. Consumer purchases that product. Even I don't need it, but it looks good. I'll use it later on. I'll see how I use it, right? But I want to purchase that. So this in-store displays, attractive store layout plays an important on catalogs and the website. The display of the pictures on the website plays an important role in unplanned or impulse purchases. A retailer's ability to forecast, budget, order merchandise, and sufficient personnel on selling floor becomes difficult. Then, because of this impulse purchasing, at times it becomes difficult for the retailer to forecast the sales, because that is an impulse purchasing. You cannot forecast on the basis of forecast on the basis of impulse purchases, right? And it becomes difficult to order the inventories or merchandise for the retailer. There are special characteristics of retailing. A retail customer usually visit a store even though mail, phones, and web sales has increased, but still people prefer to go to store or visit a store, right? Most retail transaction happens in store and will continue in future because it gives a sense of satisfaction, because of urge of feel because of urge of touch and feel. Many people like to shop in person, want to touch, want to smell, or try on the product. That's why people visit the product although that product could be available online, because that urge of touch, that urge of smell, or try that product. Even if I want to buy a product or some apparel for me, I would like to try that product before purchasing that product, or I would like to touch and feel that product before purchasing that product, right? Many people to browse for unplanned purchases. They feel more comfortable talking a purchase home within them than waiting for a delivery. If I want a product immediately and the delivery time is say 5 to 7 days, I would prefer to go to the store and purchase that product right now rather than waiting for a 5 to 7 days delivery time. Desire privacy while at home, right? A retailer must work to attract shoppers to store and consider such factors such as store location, transportation, store hours, proximity of competitors, product selection, parking, and ads. Because people prefer to go to the store for the purchases, right? Because of the urges of the, because of many of the reasons. So it is very important that the retailer should work on many factors so that they can attract as many consumer as they can. They must work to attract the shopper. That is, they should work on the store location. Where is your store located? Is it very far off from city, or is it at the heart of the city? How densely populated the locality is where your store is located? So, store location, location of store is very important. Then transportation. Is transportation facility available? How will the consumer commute to your store if they don't have their vehicle, or if they don't know the driving? How will they come? Transport facility. Is there transport facility available? What are your store hours? Are your what are your store hours? If you are opening your store early in the morning and open till late night, it become convenient for the working people to step in the store either in the early morning or in late night while coming back from their offices. Or if your store hours are like from morning 10 to evening 5, then it 5, then it becomes difficult for the working people to visit your store. So store hours matters. Proximity of the competitors. How near, what is your nearness to your competitor? How far off your competitor is from you? Then product selection. What type of products you are carrying in your store? Do you have a wide range of products in your store? If you have a wide range of product in your store and you have a quality product in your store, or you are offering the product that is of a limit, you have a limited stock of a product, it matters a lot. Then parking and ads. Parking space, whether parking space is available when someone visits your store, because if parking space is not available, then people usually avoid to go to that place where there is a problem of parking. Where will they park their vehicle? And the advertisement even plays an important role in retailing, right? Retail strategy. What is a retail strategy? Is overall plan guiding a retail firm. It influences the firm business activities and it responds to market forces such as competition and economy. So, what is retail strategy? It is nothing the plan that guides the retail firm. It influences the firm's business activities. How can they carry out their activities? And the response to the market forces like as competition and economy. There are six steps in strategic planning. First is define the type of business in terms of goods and services and company's specific orientation. It is very important for a retailer, first of all, that retailer should define what type of goods or services a retailer wants to offer. Define the company specific orientation, which company's product or services you want to offer. Set long run and short run objective for sales and profit, market share, image, etc. After deciding the type of a business, that is what type of a goods or services and which company's goods or services you would like to offer, decide your long term as well as short term objectives, right? Next, determine the customer market to target on the basis of characteristics and needs. Then decide your target audience, decide your target market, decide your customer market, whom you want to target. You can decide your target audience or the target market on the basis of the gender, on the basis of the income, on the basis of the age, on the basis of the education level. That depends on the type of the product or the services you are offering and the needs of that uh, particular group, right? Devise an overall long run plan that gives general direction to the firm and its employees. Okay. Next is implement an integrated strategy that combines factors like store location, transportation, product variety, pricing, advertisement, display to achieve the objectives. After this, then decide upon where will be your store, where will you open a store, what will be your store location, decide upon the location, where could be where you can get the maximum footfall. Transportation, how will the people communicate or how will you transport your goods, is it feasible to transport the goods? Then product variety, that is define what type of a product you would like to carry in your store. Then decide upon the pricing technique. Pricing, it includes your expenses plus the your profit margin. Decide upon the pricing techniques. How what will be how will you what will be your pricing for a particular product. This then decide upon the advertisement. How will you advertise about your business? Next is regularly evaluate performance and correct the weakness or problems when observed. It is very important to do the SWOT analysis on frequent basis or the regular basis and evaluate your performance whether you are growing as per your expectations or your objectives. Are you able to achieve your objectives, or if you are lagging, then try to correct the weakness or the problems which you might be facing, right? Keys to success, right? There are various keys to success like growth oriented objectives. There must be a growth oriented objectives. When you make the objectives, define your objectives that plays an important role in the growth of your business. Appeal to prime market. Distinctive company image. Advertisement plays an important role. Focus. Strong customer service for its retail category. If your customer is happy, if you are providing a customer services, it makes your customer happy and you will be able to retain your customer. Multiple points of contact. Multiple points of contact should be there. Employee relationship. Employees plays an important role in success of business. Innovation. How innovative you are, how your business or store is different from other. Commitment to technology. Use technology in your business. Community involvement. If you will involve the community, then it will help you to achieve your objectives. Constantly monitoring performance. Retailing concepts. First is customer orientation. Your strategy should be customer oriented. If you can satisfy your customer, then only you can retain your customer. The customer will come back to you again and again. So your business should be customer oriented. Whatever goods or services you are providing to your customer, it should be customer oriented. It is your responsibility to satisfy your customer. Coordinated effort should be there. There should be coordinated efforts to run your business. Your business should be value driven and goal oriented. Your if you don't have a goal in your business, then you cannot survive. Value driven should be there. Your business should be value driven and goal oriented. What is customer orientation? The retailer determines the attributes and needs of its customer and take action to satisfy the needs. If your customer is satisfied, then only you can retain your customer. They will come back to you again and again. Coordinated efforts, the retailer integrates all the plans and activities to maximize the efficiency. If there is a product demand for the product B, then that product B should be available. It should not be like that. There is a demand for the product B and you are not able to provide that brand B product to the customer. Then customer will move to some another store and there are the chances that they will never come back to you. So there should be the coordinated efforts. Value driven. The retailer offers good values to the customer, whether it be the upscale, expensive, or discount. That is appropriate pricing for the goods and the customer services. The retailer set the goals and uses its strategy to attain them. Right? Now, classification of retail institution. We classify the retail institution on the basis of ownership. Then store-based retail mix strategy and non-store-based retail strategy mixed or non-traditional retailing. Then ownership, on the basis of ownership, there are various types of retail institutions like independent, like chain, franchisee, leased department, vertical marketing system, or consumer cooperative. These are on the basis of ownership. That is the classification of retail institution on the basis of the ownership. On the basis of ownership, there are various types of retailers, that is the independent retailer, the chain, franchisee, leased, vertical, or consumer cooperative. Then store based retail, that is convenience stores, conventional supermarkets on the basis of the store, food based supermarket, combination store, box store, warehouse store, specialty store, variety store, traditional departmental, full line department store, off price chain, factory outlet, membership club, or free market. That is on the basis of store based. Then non store based retail strategy, that is direct marketing, direct selling, vending machine, or worldwide web. Let us discuss it one by one. A retail institution by ownership. Ownership format serves a marketplace niche. Independent retailer. First is independent retailer, capitalizes on very small target customer base and please shoppers in a friendly, simple way. Word of mouth communication is important. These retailers should not try to serve too many customers and enter into price war. Independent store, that is they cater a very small customer base, like a kirana store in your colony. That is an independent store and they try to please their shoppers through friendly and simple way, like a kirana merchant in your colony. This is an independent retailer. They try to please you. They communicate with you in a friendly manner, in a simple way. And a word of mouth plays an important role in these independent retailer. When you have purchased something from this, then you might have told another, you will tell others that yes, a new shop has been opened in our colony and he has all these things, right? These retailers should not try to serve too many customers and never enter into the price wars. They cater only a small group of people. Next is chain retailer. They benefit from widely known image economies of scales. That is cost advantage that a business obtained due to expansion and mass promotion possibilities. They should maintain their image chain wide and not be inflexible in adapting change in the marketplace. Chain image is when you open a chain of stores, right? They have cost advantage. They can expand. They widely know the image and economies of scale. They open their retail chains. They open the chains of their retail retail institutes or retailers, right? Then franchisor have a strong geographical coverage and motivation of franchisee as a owner operators. They should not get bogged down into policy disputes with the franchises or charges excessive royalty fee. What are the franchisers or the franchisers or franchisee? Franchisees, when you give your name to others, they can use your name and can run their business. You provide them the guidance how to run the business, like play schools. Shamrock, you might have heard the name of a Shamrock, right? You might have heard the name of the Mother's Pride, right? They are the this is a franchising mode where someone has established a business and now he started giving the rights to others by charging a convenience fees or by charging a royalty fees from the others who are using the name. You are using their name, and the franchisor provides the guidance and helps other in setting up the business. And how will they learn their business? How will they attract the customer? That they can provide the guidance, and they at times they share the profit, or at times they get only the royalty fees. Then leased department enables store operator and outside parties to join forces and enhances the shopping experience while sharing expertise and expenses. They should not hurt the image of the store or place too much pressure on the lease to bring in the store traffic. Okay, a vertically integrated channel gives a firm greater control over the source of supply, but it should not provide consumer with too little choice of products or too few outlets. See, in a vertical integrated channel, the firm has a greater control over the source of supply, but it is important that there should not be too little choice for the products, or there should not be too little few outlets where few outlets who provides or services or the goods. It should not be like that. Then cooperative provides the member with the price saving. They should not expect too much involvement by the members or add facilities that raise cost too much. Cooperative is where there is a consumer cooperative where that it impacts that provides a member with the price saving, that they get some sort of price saving, and they don't expect so much of involvement by the members, like Amul cooperatives, right? Independent retailer, What are the advantages of one dependent retailer? Independent retailer owns one retail unit, right? Advantages is there is a flexibility in choosing the retail formats, location, a variety or assortments, prices, hours, etc., and devising the strategies based on the target customer. Because I am the owner, so I have the flexibility of choosing where I want to open the my store, right? What type of product I want to carry in my store, what should be the price, what should be the hours of the business, right? Everything depends on the retailer. Then investment cost for lease, fixture, workers, merchandise can be brought down. There is no duplication of stocks or the personal functions. Responsibilities are clearly defined within the store. So, how much one wants to spend on which process, it totally depends on the owner. Independent frequently act as a specialist in a niche of a particular good or services. They are then more efficient to attract shopper interested in the specialized retailer. At times it happens that the retailer becomes specialized in one or more product, but again it depends on the retailer. Independent exert strong control over their strategies because no one is there. They are the owner of the retail house, so that they have control on their strategies, right? Decision making is centralized and layer of management is personal and minimized. There are certain image attached to independent, particularly the small one that chain cannot readily capture. Independent can easily sustain consistency in their efforts because only one store is operated. Independence independents have independence, no meeting, no union, no stock holding, and no labor unrest, etc. And they are entrepreneurs. They are known as the entrepreneurs. What are the disadvantages of independent retailer? That less bargaining power with the supplier as they buy the less quantity, because they cater a very small group of people, so they purchases the less quantity, purchases the product in the lesser quantity, so their bargaining power goes down. Cannot gain economies of scale, that is the cost advantage that a business obtained due to expansion in buying and maintaining the inventory. If you buy more product or maintain more inventory, then there could be the cost advantages or economies of scale, but they cannot gain that. This transportation, ordering, handling cost are high. Operations are labor intensive way, because one or two owns that product, so they have to carry out each and every process, so operations are labor intensive. They are limited to certain media for advertisement because of financial constraints. Family run independent is over dependence on the owner. It is difficult to keep it up and running. Limited time allotted to long run planning, since owner is intimately involved in day to day operations. Because owner is involved in day to day operations, so owner gets limited time for the long term planning. They make short term planning, they get less time in long term planning. Next is chain retailers. Chain retailers operates multiple outlets or store units under one common ownership. They usually involve in some level of centralized purchasing and decision making. Right? That is what the chain retailing is. What are the advantages of chain retailing? Like Tanish, they have this is an example of chain retailer, right? Reliance store, Metro, these all are chain retailers. Advantages: many chains have bargaining power due to their purchase volume. They receive new items when introduced, have orders promptly filled, get sales support, and obtain the volume discounts, because they cater a large base, because they have a multiple chains, they have multiple stores, so they purchase in a big amount, so they have more bargaining power. because they purchases more quantity, right? So they receive new item when they introduced, and this and the chain retailer take advantage of this thing. Their orders are promptly filled. They get the support services and they get the volume discounts. Chain achieves cost efficiencies when they buy directly from the manufacturer and in the large volume, ships and store goods, and attend the trade shows sponsored by the suppliers to learn about the new offerings. They can sometimes bypass the wholesalers. At times, chain retailers directly purchases from the manufacturers. They bypass the wholesalers. They attend the trade-off shows, and that they make their relationships with the manufacturers and get more discounts. Efficiency is gained by sharing warehouse facilities, purchasing standardized store fixtures, standardized buying and decision making. Headquarters have broad authority for personal policies for buying, pricing, and advertisement decision. Suppose there are 10 stores in a city, right, at different places, but they maintain their inventory at a same place, and from that store, from that warehouse, according to the requirement, that product has been delivered to 10 stores as per the requirement of the store. So this increases the efficiency, and this centralized the decision making power. Computerized ordering, merchandise, inventory, forecasting sales, and bookkeeping. This reduces the overall cost. Take advantage of variety of media from print to electronic, because they have money and they can advertise on the various media. Detailed and clear responsibilities of the employees with available substitute in case an employee is retiring and quitting. Spend considerable time in strategic planning, opportunity, and threat are closely monitored, because honor is not directly engaged in day-to-day activities, so they have a time for to make the long-term strategies. They do the SWOT analysis on regular basis or on frequent. They do the SWOT analysis frequently, right? What are the disadvantages of chain retailers? There are certain disadvantages of the retailer. Flexibility may be limited. Consistent strategies on the pricing, promotion, product variety must be followed throughout all unit, which may be difficult to adopt a local diverse market. Investment is high due to infrastructure, and store as multiple stock has to be stocked. Managerial control is complex due to geographical dispersed branches and limited independence to the personnel. Now, franchising. What is franchising? Franchising involves a contractual arrangement between franchisor, that is a manufacturer, wholesaler, or a service sponsor, and a retailer, that is a franchisee, which allow the franchisee to conduct business under a established name and according to given pattern of a business. The franchisee pays an initial fees and a monthly percentage of the gross sales in exchange for the right of sell goods and services in the area. A franchisee operates autonomously in setting store hours, choose a location, and determine the facilities and displays. I have already discussed all these things, right? These structural arrangements dominate the retail franchising. What are those structural arrangements? Manufacturer retailer. A manufacturer gives independent franchisee the right to sell the goods and related services through licensing agreements, like auto truck dealers like GM, petroleum product like IUC, right? So they give the manufacturer give the independent franchisee right to sell the goods and services through licensing agreement. They need a license, and through licensing agreement you can sell. Next is wholesaler, retailer, that is voluntary. A wholesaler set up a franchisee system and grant franchisee to individual retailer. Example, auto accessory store, consumer electronics store, that is voluntary. That is, you have a setup of franchisee, and that uh, you have assigned a franchisee or grant a franchisee to the retailer, like your electronic store, that you are a franchisee, you will sell my products. Cooperative, a group of retailers set up a franchisee system and share their ownership and operation of wholesaling organization, that is food store. What is cooperative? That is a group of retailer set up a franchisee system and share the ownership and operations, right? Then service sponsor retailers, a service firm licensed individual retailer so that they can offer a specific service package to the customer, that is service sponsor retailer. Example is Domino's, McDonald's. Advantages of franchisee: they own a retail enterprise with a relative small capital. They acquire well-known names and good service lines, because when it is an established name, then it becomes easier to run a business. Standard operating procedures and management skills can be taught to them. Cooperative marketing efforts, that is national advertisements, are facilitated. They obtain exclusive selling rights for a specific geographical area or territories. Their purchase may be less costly per unit due to the volume of overall franchisee. There are certain disadvantages, like oversaturation could occur if too many franchisees are there in one geographical area, right? Okay, due to the overzealous selling of some franchisee income potential required managerial ability and investment may be incorrectly stated. They may be locked into the contracts requiring purchases from the franchisor or a certain vendors. Although I don't want to purchase from those vendors. Cancellation clauses may give franchisors the right to void agreement if provisions are not satisfied. In some industry, franchisee agreements are of short duration. Royalties are often a percentage of a gross sale, regardless of the franchisee's profit. Whether you are making a profit or not, you have to pay a certain percentage of your gross sales, even if your net profit is less. Advantages of franchisors and disadvantages. Next is leased department. What is leased department? Is a department Leased department is a department in retail store, usually a department discount or a special store that is rented to outside party. The leased department proprietor is responsible for all aspects of his business and normally pays a percentage of sales as a rent. Lease department, you have a departmental store and you have given a certain portion to someone, to a third party, so that he can start his business, and in return that business will pay a certain percentage of sale as a rent to the proprietor. The store sets up of operating restrictions for lease department to ensure overall consistency and coordination. What are the advantages? The market is enlarged. The market is enlarged by providing one-step customer shopping. Okay, we'll continue with this in our next lecture. Thank you very much. Namaskar.